to you. Switched it up to a different channel today. It's still the Cornbread Man, and it's still the Cornbread Man morning show. We are also going out live on Podbean this morning, early on your Saturday morning. We hope and trust that you're having a wonderful start to your day. We've got a lot of activity going on this Saturday, starting off with a cool morning, not very cold, but it is cool. So the coffee is very much appreciated today. Good morning to those of you on Podbean, our MP3 platform as well. And we are just simulcasting, I guess you would say, to each. They don't integrate together, but we are monitoring both. So if you're on Podbean across the world, or you're on Rumble or whatever, X or Facebook or Twitch or YouTube, and maybe a couple more, if you're on those, we're here, and we're welcoming you to a Saturday morning. It is 6:06 a.m. on the Eastern Time Zone, where I'm at in North Georgia this morning, ready to go. I'm a little slower today. Remember, for those of you that you may not know, but for those that know, I fell in a parking lot on Wednesday like a dummy. And let me tell you, falling is not good. Thankfully, it wasn't worse than what it was, a little divot in the parking lot. And I went down like a rock, and my foot is just hurting, my toe, really my big toe. Have all sympathy for football players that say they have turf toe and everybody gives them a hard time. I don't know what turf toe feels like, but it can't be much worse or any worse than what I'm feeling. I'm walking like I'm 90 years old, and I feel like it today, but each step is a step in pain. Get a drink of coffee here. Enjoy that while it's good and hot. Well, we're going to be down on the street side again this morning at 8:30 in front of Caffeine Addicts in the little town and hamlet of Ringo, Georgia. Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy for the Southern Fried Saturday AM show. You will see us down there, and we will have a camera fixated on the sidewalk, at least one direction, and you'll see walk-up traffic as we're greeting people. It's just a new show for us. We haven't been doing it but a few weeks, and we're also filming videos from various locations, historical and or financial videos, which that's sponsored by the Ascending Group. The Ascending Group. Don't trust these yahoos out there that can't get you any money. They take your money. Have a plan. Make a good plan. The Ascending Group can help you do that. And we're still getting our cards and marketing and all that up for it. And you got to protect your money. You gotta maximize it. Some of these traditional things are not doing very much for your money. There are things you can do to safeguard yourself for taxes, and or to make sure that others are taken care of after you are gone, and you get that money back. The Ascending Group doesn't take anything from you. They ask for no money. You're saying, how does that happen? Well, the companies they deal with, when they get you this great deal, they pay them. You don't pay the Ascending Group anything. And that is great. Consultation is free. The work they do is free to you. It's your money working for you. And, and you're getting more of it back. You're protecting more of it. And those are wonderful things, especially in the chaotic markets that we have nowadays. Who knows what's going to happen in markets across the world? Markets are crashing all the time. Pardon me this morning. But yeah. Well, I want to talk for a few minutes this morning about the ongoing war of words between the president and Marjorie Taylor Greene, otherwise known as MTG. Full disclosure, I am in the district of MTG, and I have voted for her each and every election that she has ran. Once our previous senator decided not to run anymore, she came on the scene. She came on it, loud and proud, and she connected with the people here. And there's nobody going to beat her unless she beats herself. And somebody say, well, this is the one. She didn't do anything. Now, the president is in a full court press right now. And honestly, and I support the president in many things. But I'm not one of those that supports him in everything, because I think men make mistakes. And yes, even the president and everybody, some people think that he has a master plan on everything. He's made mistakes in the past. He's had to back up and punt, as we say down here in the South sometimes. He's had to punt because he's made some bad decisions. Why now? Why now is he, maybe he's mad at her for some things that she's come out about. And he said she's lost her way. He's calling her wacky now and all that. Well, maybe she said some wacky things, but let me just dive in here just a little bit and tell you. And I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. First of all, number one, she is firmly entrenched in this district. Firmly. They have run all counters at her. They have poured money into the district, they being the liberals, the Democrats from outside the state even, tons of money. They threw military people at her and everything, and she has trounced every single one. The people in this district love Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a voice. They say, what has she done for the district? She has put us on the map. The district is doing very well. The business is coming in. Georgia's doing very well. It's a good district. Part of it is a border to Tennessee, and it goes, I think I'll down to Rome. Excuse me. 14th district. That is, and I have voted for her, and I will full disclosure on that. I have voted for the president each and every time he's ran. They have campaigned together, and he has decided to go, and he's now going to say he's going to support someone else. And I'm going to say right off the bat, now the president has not won every time that he's done this. So that's first of all. He has not won every time he has thrown his support behind somebody. He's not won. One would be also in Georgia, Herschel Walker. As much as I love Herschel Walker, and I did vote for him because I don't like the liberal agenda either, but he didn't win. He got a lot of votes, but it wasn't that close. It was still a pretty good win for the opposition. And the Republicans threw a lot of money in that election too, a lot of money. And of course, now they're throwing it behind Derek Dooley and for governor and all this stuff or whatever it is he's doing. So I don't even remember what he's running for because he's not going to win, in my way of thinking. But anyway, back to MTG. He failed at that. There's been a few races around the country where he has failed. He may succeed in this, but my prediction is this is going to be a fail for the president. And I want to bookend this in a minute for some things that I really want to hear out of the president besides an MTG war of words. First of all, for MTG's sake, they always want to throw out these things, space lasers, Israel, things that she has said, da 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 da. Let me tell you what Marjorie Taylor Greene. I've been to her town halls. I've tried to get interviews with her on the podcast. We'll keep trying. There's a lot of requests for her time. We haven't been selected yet, but we will continue to work that end of it. We're in the very northern part of the state, almost in Tennessee, but we are sitting in one of the big counties here in northwest Georgia. And I'm not saying Catoosa, and I work in Walker, and we're all over the place. But she has never wavered on this point, never. And he is pointing out stuff like she went on The View, and she has never been afraid to stand up with anybody and tell them she thinks they're wrong. Anybody, doesn't matter, Republican, independent, liberal, Democrat, extreme liberal, it doesn't matter, even moderate. She does not care. If she thinks she's on the right path and she thinks that she's going to, her opinion or where Americans, especially her district, stand, she will stand on that. And she has been hurt by that. She has been kicked off committees. There was a time when she had no committees. She has had a war of words with speakers of the House. She has stood up against Nancy Pelosi. They've tried to marginalize her. They've tried to berate her. They've tried to run her out of Washington. It hasn't worked. And the president needs to leave this alone. Marjorie Taylor Greene is this. She is America first wholly. The president is not as much America first as she is. And I'll say that. He does a great job with this. Absolutely. Love the flag, patriotism, protecting the borders. A long laundry list of things. And I get it that a president has to look at things across the world. But she is 100% and always has been against us being involved in Ukraine-Russia war. Always. She's never one time wavered on that point. And I'll give her credit for that. I've been in her town halls where she was fixing to go back to Washington. And she says, when I get back, they're going to introduce more money and stuff to go to, we're paying their salaries. And it's true. We're paying their power bills. We're paying their pensions, all this stuff that we have paid in the past. And all this story about the weapons. I wonder if the money is still flowing to keep the government afloat in Ukraine. I hate what's happened to them, but I don't care for the government. I'll be honest. I love the people, don't like the government. But that doesn't even matter what I think. She has said, I'm America first. I want I want those dollars to stay here and help Americans. And I can tell you that in the 14th district, that was overwhelmingly appreciated. They oppose the president on this. They support the president, but on this point, they're not for him because she speaks the language of the people here. We want to take care of America first. She stands on that. So the president comes out against her. First of all, it was, a little bit of stuff. And he says she calls him up all the time, wacky Marjorie now. I mean, he's come up with all these names. He's gotten mad at her. I just think it goes deeper than that. Has Marjorie probably rung the phone a few times? And he, by the way, it was good for him at one time in Georgia. Very good for him. And now he's, he doesn't have to run again. And, we need to be setting up the next potential president, conservative president. You need to be supporting that. Here we are, we're streaming towards the midterm. It's going to be a very hard midterm in a lot of areas. We've got to really rally the troops. And he's going to pour his support and money and everything behind another candidate. Who are they going to get? I'm telling you, it may succeed. It may. But my prediction is that this will be a fail for the president. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to win her next election. And I always said, unless there's a major scandal, a major one, she will win the election here every time she runs, as long as she wants to be in that position. By the way, the screen that she was going to run for president and all that stuff is to make the people in the 14th think that she's jumping ship on them. And she had to come out and clarify that. I've never said I'm going to run for president. By the way, it would be ridiculous for her to run for president. So this is some backdoor stuff going on where they're trying to really push her down, destroy her, and put somebody in place. Is it to be a yes person? I don't want that. I do not want a yes person. There's nobody you're going to agree 100% with. But as the person who represents me in my state, I want somebody that's willing to stand up and fight. And she has definitely got that. We've had those that just went along with the flow. They didn't want to have anybody criticizing them. They wanted to get along. They were the typical politician. She is not. That's why they love her. She gets out in her district and she gets on the streets and she meets the people. She shoots off the guns. They love that here in North Georgia. They love that. They love that she has gun giveaways. By the way, so does Colton Moore. He's doing one here in a few weeks. I've got the flyer on it. I'm going to be sharing that. Colton Moore does the same thing. It's very popular in North Georgia. A lot of hunters here. A lot of people in the right to bear arms in this district. They love Marjorie. They appreciate her. They feel like she's one of them. And a lot of women support her. I mean, it's not mostly men, although a lot of men do. And I know people who voted for the first time for two reasons. One was for Trump, one was for her. And those are the reasons they started voting. Maybe the first time in their whole lives, they started voting. And I think it's pretty amazing. And those people are now voting, for all these, elections, or at least the bigger ones. They'll at least turn out for it. It's a strong district for her. But why are they doing this now? Why is that? Why is that important to the president? We got bigger fish to fry around the country and in Georgia. In Georgia, by the way, there's a lot of bigger things going on. Why are they taking this opportunity to try to come after her? What is the reason? Well, I'm going to tell you, because she is such a touch point. It's a fire that they can just, they can fan it and it explodes. Why? Because the media loves that story. They love the story. They hate Marjorie Taylor Greene. The media does. They're not going to ever love him, but they hate her with a passion, which, by the way, this is good for her poll numbers. If this whole thing. And people can understand that. It's like being a friend, and you have a friend over here that you like, and you have a friend over here that you like, but they don't like each other. And I'll tell them. I've had people say, why are you talking to that guy? I'll say, he's my friend. They'll say, why are you talking to that person? He's my friend. I'll say, listen to me. You may not like each other, but I'm the friend of both of you. That's the way I can be with this. I can be supportive of the president, and I can be supportive of MTG. I don't have to draw a line in the sand. It's not going to cost the vote to the president, which he's not going to run again, but it's not going to cost who he may support in most cases, especially on a national level, as long as because I'm going to vet those anyway, according to what I feel. But why is this the point? Georgia's in danger, and The governorship it's been teetering. It's very close. They're trying to flip the state. Why is this? Well, it's a media darling for him because he gets out there and he does that. This is the MO of the president. Somebody has the audacity to stand up against him. And he will start all this, and he uses True Social. He's done this from the very beginning. He's not changed. He's always done that. And we laugh at it, and it's funny. But everybody that I know, you may not know, I don't know everybody, but everybody that I know has said this over the last several years with the president. Sometimes he needs to put the social stuff to the side. He gets a little bit too much in there, and he says things that sometimes they don't care for. They say, I support him. I don't like some of the social media stuff he does. But what is the screening going on here? What are they trying to do? Because I suspect it's a lot deeper than Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't believe that's why did this rise up on the national radar for the president? This district is firmly conservative. Is there liberal presences here? Yes, a lot, but it's more moderate. It's not extreme liberal. They don't like the extreme liberal here. This is a very conservative district, the 14th district. Even if you say I'm going to put somebody else in there, it doesn't matter to the president. He don't need the votes. He don't need to vote again. And so, but there are some things that the president has had struggled with, namely this Ukraine situation, and she's hammering him on this and has. When Biden was in there, she hammered on it. When the president's been in there, she's hammered on it. She does not like us being involved in that at all. And she says it. I want those dollars to stay here and help Americans. I'm America first. I love this country. She said, I could care less about Ukraine. Let Ukraine handle this. Let Europe handle it. Let's get out of it. The president has not been able to change that. Now, I don't know if that's the reason why, but he has been, softened on that. Where at first he was dressing down little man Zelensky. He's softened a little bit. He's allowed more things. He's even rumors he's contemplating longer tomahawks, and he's even talking the language of things that kind of concern me. Where he said, "Well, as a president, I have to look at this bigger picture and da da da." Well, he used to never do that. He used to never do that. It was always America was the long view, and he would tell these other people, "I'm going to put a stop to that." Remember when he said, "If I was in there, I could stop that war in 24 hours." Can't do it. Can't do it, Mr. President. And I thought those were words you shouldn't have used. I realized you were wording for election. It sounded good, but this is an old hatred, and I can. At 24 hours, you're pretty powerful, my friend, especially with the backing of the great American military. But this is a different entity, and so they've always been on the opposite ends of the spectrum on this. And I'm not saying Trump has changed his position. I think he's kind of been there always, but he's taken a little bit longer view with that. Where a lot of people, and by the way, a lot of people on the platforms, they come in, they don't care about Ukraine. They could care less. It's like, let's get out of there. We don't want no troops there. They want out of the Middle East as well. They don't like what we've done there. This plays into her hand. This helps her platform. This helps her votes. Because I can tell you, there's probably some people in North Georgia that are really all in, and they want to see us continue to support Ukraine in every way. But I will tell you, I think the majority of people in the district were saying, let's get out of it. It's dangerous to us. There's no benefit to us. Let's get out of there. Let's cut the strings. Let Europe handle it. They say they want to handle it anyway. Let's get out. America first, baby. But here he is out there bashing Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's a gold mine for her, honestly. It elevates her. And I know it'll get serious when he starts supporting someone else. It's going to be rich here. The media, the stories off of that are going to be rich. But I can tell you that I still support her, and I've seen posts in the last 24 hours where women have said this. I'm confused. Why are you coming after her? I can like both. Well, that's exactly what I said. That's why I think the handlers, whoever's what for whatever reason are doing this, they've misread the room. They have absolutely misread this district. And when the president came, honestly, the closest he got, most of it in North Georgia, was Rome, Georgia, which is about an hour away from me. And so the people up here, they support the president, It ain't like he's coming through the little towns and hamlets of North Georgia. He usually going to Atlanta, Rome, Macon. He'll do some places like that, bigger towns. But he's not in North Georgia. He's not in Northwest Georgia. He's not in Northeast Georgia. He's not in the Blue Ridge. He's not over here near where I'm at, and right here in this corner, the Tri Cities, and all the this the three states coming together: Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. He's not rolling through here. People support him. I've seen the Trump convoys and all that. People out campaigning for him. When she's running for election, you can roll through the 14th, and her signs are everywhere in people's yards. I'm not talking about street corners where their handlers have went out and just placed those. People go to get those signs. They put them in their yards. And there's a road that I travel when I leave church. If I go the back way and I'm going down through all these little communities, her signs are everywhere. In fact, the last time she ran, they poured all that money into the Democrats from outside the state. I didn't see but a handful of those signs in North Georgia, where I live. Throughout the district, I can't speak to it, but I suspect it's a lot the same. People here like her. And one of the reasons they like her is that she's a fighter. She's willing to stand up and say what they wish. And this is what this is the same thing. The people say, why do people love Trump? Well, first reason they ever loved him is he would tell them exactly what the people felt like if they could have a voice, if they could talk to people and say how frustrated they are and ticked off they are. He met that every need. He told them, and he said it in crass ways. I can tell you, people love that in the 14th. Most people were like, that's how I feel. Tell them. And they felt like he represented that and brought back, patriotism, love of country, love of military, all those things that we still stand with him on. Marjorie Taylor Greene has done the same thing. Her town halls are filled with a lot of seniors, and the boomers. The boomers are really still and will be for a long time. They're a huge block of voters. They show up, they turn out to vote. It's filled with veterans. When I go to the town halls, you see the veterans hats. They'll raise their hand. I served in the military, and she speaks for them. They understand it. They love Trump, but they love her as well. And it's like watching two friends fight. They didn't always get along. We understand that. Not everybody gets along. We understand that in the 14th. You can have the family spat. We know. We've had them. We have fights within our family, arguments, but we come back together. They need to clean this up. This is not good for him down here. He will still have support, but if they think they're going to just run her out on the rails down here, they're mistaken. She has not lost my vote. She still has that vote. We will see what they do, but she has tried and true for several years now. She has represented us and put us on the map. And all these people down here, there are the voices down here that says, what has she done for the 14th? She's done a heck of a lot. She put you on a national map. I don't recall anybody else that ever was in the 14th that ever put us. And some people say, well, it's an embarrassment. She said things we don't like. Publicity is publicity is publicity. You are still putting your name out there. Think of all the senators that would kill to have her national scale. In fact, a lot of people said she never paid her dues. Why did she get selected? Why did she get up there? Well, they would say she just did all that to gain votes. Well, not all politicians do some of that? I mean, really. But I'm going to tell you what, she's never changed. She's never wavered off of it. She's never changed the messaging. She withstood everything. They dug into her life from back when she was a baby. And it cost her a marriage. She's got a boyfriend now that's connected in the media and all that, and they're hammering on that. But she has been, docked. She has, they've sent people to the law to her house. There are those, and a lot of that comes from outside the state. They have done their best to destroy her nationally as the Democrats. All they've done is made her stronger. Because I'm going to tell you, they don't. First of all, national Democrats and even Republicans, I'm going to tell you, the people down here, we get it. They don't understand us, and they never have. She gets us, and we appreciate that. And they just don't get it. Usually they think it's like the Democrats when they come south, they get this fake Southern accent, and they act like they're preaching. I'm going to tell you, that ticks people off down here. It's like Hollywood. When Hollywood has this really fake Southern accent, and it's like, oh, man, I couldn't even enjoy the movie because that actor, I love him, but they got this accent that is horrible. It doesn't represent us. It's a mockery of who we are. And we never like that. And we don't like it when they come down here and they try to act like they're one of us when they don't ever even care for us. Whatever she is, people in the 14th believe that she cares for them, believe that she cares for the country, believes that she's a fighter, believes that she's willing to stand up, even to her own detriment. She could have played the game. After all, they came to her. They tried to get her in line. And Kevin McCarthy, the whole, all this whole deal. How many times did they come to her and try to shut her up? How many times did they come to her and threaten her? How many times did they put her on the sideline and say, her mouth got her in trouble? The president gets in trouble with his mouth. She's like the female version of the president. She gets in trouble for her mouth. She gets in trouble for her stances. She doesn't change. It's not good for the party to have this fight going on right now. This is a major, major mistake, I believe, by the administration to have this fight right now. What do I know? Maybe it worked for him. But when he's done this before, and sometimes it has come back to bite him. And again, who are they going to support? Who's the alternative? Who are they grooming to step up? And I'm going to tell you, just because he gives his sign off and throws a bunch of money at it, it's not going to get her defeated. So I would be looking for scandal after scandal after scandal because they want her gone so bad right now. It's just the way it goes. That's politics, right? And they're already saying it. Full court press. The president hitting Truth Social. Of all the things the president could be coming out about, could be saying, Fournier, he posted last night, Marjorie Taylor's in trouble in North Georgia. The president just went after her. That seat's open. No, it's not, dude. As much as I like reading your stuff, you don't know the 14th either. These national people, even on the Republican side, the conservative, the pro-America, all that, you don't understand this district. And we don't appreciate you coming in here and trying to act like you do know us. You don't know us. You don't understand us. You never have. You never will. You think you do, but you don't. And people here have a very narrow view. They know what they like. They know what they don't like. You speak that language, they will support you. And one thing about it, there's one thing about people in the South, and the national people better understand this. We will stand with our own. We will love the president. He's not from here. He's not North Georgia. He's not Southern. We love him. He live in Florida. He's relocated. I get it. He's not here. She is. She's the one that we go to the town halls with. She's the one out on the streets. She's the one going in the diners. She's the one that travels throughout the district and does that. The national media says she ignores the 14. Absolute lie. A freaking absolute lie. But they will say that and the people believe it. No, we know what's happening because we see it. I can't wait for our town halls to start up again. I'm going to cover them as a podcast, and we're going to go there. We're going to keep trying to get the interviews with her, and hopefully that will happen. I can tell you, there's nothing to change my mind right now. Do I like everything that she's ever said? No, but I don't like everything that even I've always said or anybody else. Sometimes we disagree with people. That's humanity. We just don't always agree. But she has done nothing to lose my vote for me. And people can rail on that. They can hate that. They can say I'm this or that. All it does is make me more so want to dig in the hills. That's the way we are in the South. We are stubborn. We will dig in the hills and we will fight this fight. The president will not lose our vote because he's not going to run anymore anyway. We're already trying to decide who will be the next one. We've got a midterm, though, to get to. And this is not the fight we need for the midterms. Leave it alone. I mean, go get something else. Just because she doesn't speak your language 100% of the time, she's still going to be pro-America. Georgia's going to be firmly behind the Trump and who he supports on a national level for the next president, firmly behind it. Unless he went off the rails, they're going to fully support that. Why this fight? Why now? I think it's ridiculous, and I just think that it's a mistake. But it's fun to talk about, and I'm interested to see what some of the other political commentators have to say down here. But they better be careful, because you go stomping on our family, you go stomping on our friend, we're going to dig in and we're going to circle the wagons as they always did in the movie. We're going to circle the wagons around her, and we're going to say, leave her alone. She's got our vote. And whoever they want to prop up, they better be careful. If they don't do this right, that person's going to be done before they ever get the name out there. I'm telling you. This is not a fight that he wants. And it's not a fight that he needs. I really don't understand it. I got a couple of ideas of why they're doing it, but I'm just not sure. I honestly think there's some It just looks as though it looks like we're getting on a war footing. As much as I hate to say that, even though he has championed peace through strength, and all this, I really feel like this is one of the reasons I believe this is happening. I really feel like that they know they're going to war with somebody. I really feel like that's going to happen. They seem like they've been preparing for that ever since before they even got elected. They have been in lightning speed to be in preparation for this. It looks as though there's going to be war, and it's not going to be popular. And I can tell you that Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to stand up and say, "Why are we fighting this war?" They know that. She will not be supportive of it unless we're attacked. If we're attacked, different story. And how many of your sons and daughters do you want to go? And it will be daughters too. How many of your sons and daughters do you want to go to that battle? War is horrible. When the body bags start coming in, the most ardent supporter of war, all of a sudden, when it's your kiddo comes in wounded or dead, it takes you're not beating the war drums as much anymore. In fact, you may throw the sticks away, the drumsticks on that battle cry. It's ugly business, and unless we absolutely have to, we need to not do that. We don't need to be doing a first strike on anybody. We need to leave it alone. We need to continue to sell the seven seas. We need to have the best military we can, especially Navy. We need to make sure we're the absolute number one for surface ships. We need to make sure we have the best submarines, our fighter jets, bombers, all that stuff needs to be top notch. Our military missile capability, whatever it is, always be on the forefront to tell these people, back off, don't mess with us. If you do, it's going to be curtains. You got to have that. But we need to do all we can to stay out of war. War is not good. And I just feel like once the midterms are over, I just feel like we're going to war. I hope I'm wrong, but all the indicators are there. The threats, and these people are, he's been surgical strikes so far, but and I hope I am wrong, but it just seems like we're building up to a really big war. And it looks like they're trying to, putting people in place that are going to be more supportive of it. She's not going to be. She will never support that unless we're attacked. Unless the homeland of America is attacked, she'll never support that. And I believe that. I would love to have her here. I would love to ask her questions on this. But I'm going to tell you, this last 2 or 3 days, especially the last 24 to 30 hours, they have came at her with a full court press. And it's just baffling to me of why they do that right now. This is really not a battle we need right now. And it just makes me look deeper at why. And it's frustrating to me, to be honest. But you know what? Hey, we get more to report on, and that's good. She's okay. She's going to be okay. I really believe that. And like I said, we can have people in Georgia. Pardon me, choked up this morning. It's the morning air and a little bit of allergies. But anyway, we can support people in Georgia. We can support people on a national scale, and we don't have to have one or the other. In fact, we've done that a lot. We don't like sometimes who they have tried to support here in Georgia. We know who we like. But watch for her to be doing a gun giveaway soon. When it's her time, she will get out. She'll have the AK. Colton Moore's got his going right now. By the way, he's 53rd district to the state on the state level, and how many things has he come out against? He's went against the grain. Nationally, they've tried to make him look buffoonish. In the state, they have done him wrong. He asked questions. They didn't like the questions. They in the state, the politics in the state. So she's in the 7th district, or 14th district, big district. You go to the 53rd district. I had him agree to come on, and I got to reach back out. We never was able to line it up, but Colton Moore has shook it up. He's just like her in a lot of ways. he has shook it up on a state level, and I can tell you the people in the 53rd love that. Across the state, there's been people coming after him. You remember when they kicked him out of the committee room? Remember that? They banned him and all that stuff, and he was trying to get in, and they took him down and arrested him. All you did was tick off everybody in the 53rd district, at least most of them. This is why I say this is not going to be successful. So they were people in on the Republican side that we got angry at because of how they treated Colton Moore. Well, why was he kicked out? Because he was willing to stand up and say things that were not popular, just like Marjorie Taylor Greene. So whether it's on a national level or whether it's on a state level, we feel like we're being represented. They're speaking the people's language. We don't like when we're seeing it looks like they're not being transparent or it's uncomfortable. They ask the tough questions, and they're willing to do that. And by the way, they tried to make him look buffoonish because he is a recognized auctioneer. He's recognized that he can make the calls and everything. But he does the same thing. He's very pro-gun, pro-America. He doesn't like government waste. He doesn't like these deals, these dirty deals and stuff. He doesn't like the money that was being spent and funneling, people into the country from other countries, secret mission, plane rides and stuff. He went down to the airport. Somebody told him they were down there. If you remember that, and they kicked him out of there. And people, but I can tell you up here, everybody is cheering him on, and they don't get that on the state level either. And they lose support in the northern part of the state the way they treat these senators and its representatives, and they don't like it. And we have another gentleman who's been on the program. Out of the three, I've gotten one so far, and he has done the same thing. He has asked the tough questions. He's asked about fiscal responsibility. He has went down there and he has battled the battle on that side. People love that here, and we will continue to support that. Do they say things sometimes that is hard to hear, hard to listen to? It's uncomfortable? Sure it is. Why? Because whenever you start uncovering, the dirt, whenever you start uncovering the swamp, whenever you start uncovering the little backdoor deals and stuff that people are not telling the people, they're not being forthcoming with full information, not being transparent. They like to use that word, but they're not being transparent. People recognize that and they say, hey, I like that. Keep asking the tough questions. We appreciate what you're doing. Are they squeaky wheels? You dang right they are. They are squeaky wheels. They're not afraid, but they will turn and they don't play the freaking game. And that's what we don't like up here. We have had too many yes men play the game. They just, yes, the yes men. They don't rock the boat. And I'm not for rocking the boat for the simple, just to rock the boat. But sometimes you have got to shake things up. You've got to stir the waters up. You got to see what floats to the top. And it's been stinky. I'm going to tell you, Georgia's filled with a bunch of political crap, and everybody up here knows it. And if they think they're going to come in here and tear down our elected leaders, by the way, they're our elected leaders. They're not yours, Mr. President. Marjorie Taylor Greene did not get in solely on your support. I'm sorry to bust your ego on that. If you think that that's the truth, it's not true. People here, they vote for who they want to vote for. And I can tell you, they love her. They tell her all the time. You need to read the social media. You need to read what they say. They say, we love you, Marjorie. Keep up the good work. You got our support always. And they think they're going to come in here and trash her. They think of the state, they're going to trash Colton Moore. Colton Moore was done the same way. They put him on the sidelines. They stripped him of committees. I tell you, and it has done nothing but tick off and unify the 53rd and the 14th district. I'm telling you, they need to leave it alone. This is a fight they don't want to get into, and they lose support up here. We will turn out. We will vote for the right president. We understand the mission. We get that. But don't start trying to tear down our elected leaders. They're our elected leaders. We voted them in. You didn't. We did. It's our vote. They are representing us, and you need to leave it alone. It really does tick me off if you can't tell. And I got no problem with debating issues and whatever, but this is a full court press to tear an elected leader down and basically predict her demise. And they're trashing her left and right. Now she's not, she's not useful for you, so you're trashing her. Come on, this is the kind of crap the Democrats pull, and it just makes me mad. Again, I'm fully supportive. I'm going to support the Trump agenda for the most part. I've never been 100%. It's cost me some people. Some people have got mad at me. They don't like it. They get mad at me on the podcast. They call me names. I don't care. I have a right. Isn't that freedom? Isn't that the freedom we have? Isn't that what we're fighting for? To stay connected as an American, to have the voice, to defend that right, to speak out. We don't like it when we hear that kind of jargon coming from either side of the political aisle. And we understand it. Politics is politics. We still understand the politician. And what we would say to elected leaders on a national level is Don't become the politician. We didn't elect politicians. We elected people to get this country straightened out. We don't want that political talk. Stop all that. Don't play the game. Just move forward. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not going to always support your agenda, because her agenda is America first. And sadly, that ought to tell us something. If they're attacking her on the positions that she has, not this whole idea of the wacky stuff. He said she's lost her way. What way, Mr. President? She never has changed. You were supportive of it for several years. You've been distancing yourselves for a while. You've been distancing, if I can get the word out. We noticed that. We noticed how you didn't stand with her. We noticed how she didn't get a seat on the platform. We noticed all that stuff. We really didn't care for it, to be honest with you. It looked like she was useful to you to a point, and then you pushed her to the side. Well, now you're fully coming at her. You still have her support, but don't mess with the family down here. She's in the Georgia family. She is a Georgian. She is the elected leader. Leave it alone. Go after somebody else. My God, there's plenty of candidates to go after. There's plenty of people that are rhinos, people that are failures, people that you need to address. Why are you going after one that's fully supportive of America first? That's what we're saying. The flag, apple pie, grandma, gun rights, freedom of speech. That's what she is. And by the way, because she has freedom of speech, she exercises freedom of speech. And you're going to be against that? You're going to say she's wacky, she's lost her way, or whatever. They said the same things about you, Mr. President. We stayed with you. And sometimes, yes, it sounded a little wacky. But we appreciated your voice. And we still appreciate that down here. Let's not attack the family. Go after those that are not the family. They're not our friends. They're not the ones. I don't want, by the way, if you've ever assembled a team, the worst thing you can do, the absolute worst thing you can do is get a bunch of yes people. Because what will happen is you think everything you're saying is great. You've got to have those people stand up and say it respectfully, however, and say, I think you're dead wrong here. And then have discussion off of that. If for nothing else, she's at least someone that, and by the way, a lot of people here love her. So when you're doing all of your map, you got your map up, Mr. President, and all the team up there, I think you're getting fed some bad information myself. But, and you're looking, okay, down there in North Georgia, how are we standing? Well, you need to read the tea leaves a little bit better. And we still support you, but we don't like what's happening here, by and large. Are there people here that's cheering it? Oh, yeah. You know who they are? The people that hated her anyway. They're going to act like they're your friend. Oh, yes, she's an embarrassment to the 14th. I've heard this forever. I've never felt embarrassed. I've had people across the state line. I see the post all the time. How could you buffoons, you inbred backwoods, no teeth, people, how could you vote for her? Guess what? You don't live in the district either. You can shut your pie hole. I'll support your right to say it. I'll die for your right to say it. But you don't have a voice here. She doesn't represent you. We're happy. We're fine. We get that crap locally, and we circle the wagons and we stand with her, and she gets our vote. She's done just fine. Well, now they come out on a national level. We're going to circle the wagons. We're going to defend our girl. She is us. She is Georgian. Leave her alone. Go after somebody else. This is not your fight. That's my stance on that. Spend a little bit longer than I wanted on it. But doggone it, have you not noticed what's going on? And around the country, if you're listening from wherever, I'm telling you that people down here don't like this. People down here are confused about it. It's like, wait a minute, why are we fighting? Why is this a battle? Why are we, coming against each other? There's so many bigger issues to fight right now. So why has this become the fight? Why has this become the messaging of the administration? There's, like I said, there's a lot of reasons why I think that's going on, but and maybe they'll succeed. They may. But I think we don't want yes people down here. If we're gonna, that's the way we are down here in the South. By the way, if you're wrong, we'll tell you you're wrong, and we'll tell you why. We'll do that respectfully. We've got nice terms like "bless your heart." we will say it, but we don't get into I don't go up into Michigan and try to tell Michigan people how to think or how to vote or whatever. I still question why Whitmer's there. We need to get some more supportive conservatives up there and get her out. But this is our district. This is our part of the state. We understand the mission, And I can tell you the numbers are overwhelmingly still in all the North Georgia, except there's a little bit closer to Atlanta. You'll see it be a little bit closer. She wins in a trounce. She kills the opposition. Who are you going to run against this lady? Who are you going to put up there that's going to be able to pull those kind of numbers? There's one thing about it. Once you start voting for somebody, you feel connected to that. That's who you are. And they haven't done anything to lose your vote. Why would you vote for somebody else just because somebody says it, even if you respect them and love them? Why would you do that? We're loyal down here. We are very loyal to people. We stand with people. When you're in our family, you are in our family. And if you break that trust, you've broken that trust. We would still greet you on the sidewalk. We would still say, hey, but we would vote you out. And we don't have a problem with doing that. But the people here, by and large, majority wise, don't see any reason to do that. I can't wait. I cannot wait until the town halls kick up again. And I want to go hear her ourselves, hearing her. And I'm telling you, she's going to preach America first, and she's going to get a lot of this. She's going to have the cheerleaders down here going, yes, yes, Marjorie, keep. And I have heard this so many times. They will say, keep doing what you're doing. When they kicked her off of Twitter back in the days with Twitter before it became X, they laughed at all that down here. It's just like a badge of honor. It was like, oh, how many of y'all been kicked off of Twitter? A lot of hands went up. How many of you care about Twitter? A lot of hands. Well, I don't care about Twitter. There were people that tried to disrupt our town halls down here from the opposition. They didn't get in. They made themselves look like a fool. It didn't work. And by the way, let me explain something to you down here if people can understand it. Conservatives don't really care for the hyphenated name down here. I know that some people think that makes some sort of a more intelligent or whatever. We sort of recognize that when it happens. And so if you're going to put somebody, you better not use hyphenated names down. We don't care for it. We don't need 2 or 3 last names. We just need you to be who you are and stand up and speak for the people. And if the platform is going to be bash Marjorie Taylor Greene, if that's going to be your platform, you have sunk yourself in a quicksand hole. We've just had a big sinkhole up here in one of our cities here. That's going to be a sinkhole for you. If your platform is to trash Marjorie, you have lost already. You better change up your tactics because the district's doing well. We're hanging on. The things that we can control, we control. The things out of our hands, we cannot. And we want a voice that's going to Washington. And that's what she says. I'm here to fight for you. And we hear it. We hear it loud and clear. And she has done that. And the town halls there's been no catcalls. There's been anybody can get on them things. There's been no mass protest out here. There's a couple of yahoos showed up, whatever. People just laugh at them. We are firmly behind Marjorie Taylor Greene. That has not changed. Administration, you need to think about that. And we don't like people monkeying around with our district down here. And that's what I'll say. It'll be fun to watch as we go forward into the next steps as we get into 26. Here we are. The holidays are going to hit, and it's going to be a dirty midterm. I mean, dirty. Maybe the dirtiest we have ever seen across the nation. It is going to be one heck of a fight. This is not the fight you need. There's bigger fish to fry for you. Why are you down here monkeying around? You have firm support from North Georgia. Firm support. Don't mess it up. We're not going to ever support the other side, but don't mess that up because you got to get support going forward. And it's important. We're listening for you. We're saying, who are you going to support? Who are you going to support on a national level for president, in 2028? Who are you going to support? People have guesses. Nobody knows the president marches the beat of his own drum. We appreciate that about him. He's still going to be the crass guy that stands up and tells people, hey, sit down and shut up. Yeah, you've said too much. You're being ugly. It's not nice. We appreciate it. But we've got to stand together. We need to come together. We need to remain strong. We got a lot of fight. We're teetering here. There's been some losses. We got to recognize that. Why are you coming after one that's fully the people that are voting for Marjorie are voting for you? It's not a battle you need to worry about. And there are battles ahead. And or they feel like they're going to lose a couple of spots. I think they are. Maybe they're trying to get a yes person down here that'll always be yes, Mr. President. Whatever you say, I'm with it. Maybe that's what's going on. It is very close. These races are very close. Maybe they've done their numbers. Maybe they feel like they can push her out of the way and get somebody else in there that'll be fully supportive of him. That's a possibility. I can see all that being a part of this. But I'm going to tell you what, if you may succeed in your battle, but you're going to lose the war down here because people are not going to be happy about it and will not support that person fully. I'm telling you, won't most of the people, even if you somehow, because this is what happens. Democrats will pour over and vote for this other person. They've done it before. They'll do it again. They'll primary her very hard. But I'm going to tell you, you better pack your lunch when you're getting ready to do that. The troops on the ground are ready to go. We understand it. We've watched it. We see it. We know what you do, and that's what's going to happen. And that should make us concerned here. That should really concern us. And it concerns me that as much as as Georgia has been a battleground in election and still a battleground for election, clarity and just go look at all that's been going on. That battle is very much ongoing in the state of Georgia. It's not the time to start taking apart leaders here that are firmly entrenched, just so you can have a national, if that's what it is, yes person to support your full agenda. She doesn't always do that, and they don't like it. I get it, but I appreciate it because there are times to let our leaders know, hey, maybe this is not the course of action. How many people are amazed that it's went this long and we're still as involved in Ukraine as we are? Nobody ever thought that would happen. In fact, at one point, it looked like the president was fully ready to send a little boy packing. In fact, they kicked him out of the White House. I can tell you down here, we loved that. We loved it. Oh, all the people was crying. It was embarrassing for the United States of America. No, it wasn't. I get tired of these foreign leaders coming over here acting like they love us and they trash us when they go back to their home country. We're ready to bring that money home. We had a government shutdown. We have people not getting paychecks. How many people in Ukraine got cut off of their paycheck because of the government shutdown? I would like to know the answer to that. Fight that fight. Let's clean it up. Let's get back to where we need to be. There are battles ahead. Let's unify behind it. I think the Uniparty is going to be it's been lined up to be full on here in Georgia, and there's a lot of splitting going on right now. We've got to be really careful, Georgia. Got to be really smart with these next steps. And we've already been damaged enough down here. This state does not need to flip. We need to stay fully concentrated on the mission at hand. We need you down here campaigning for and not against people that we have already and they're firmly entrenched. Let's fight the fight at the other Senate races. We got a governor's seat that's up, just like Florida and Alabama's is. I'd say Alabama's is pretty much done. I think most people understand who's going to win that. Georgia's is up for grabs. I'm not sure in Florida either. It's very important that we close this up very tight and continue the mission. And Texas, that's a battleground, a huge battleground. It has been. That's another state that's very complicated. Why? Well, we know why. What's poured into the state? What's happened there? What damage was done? There's a lot of damage being done. Texas has become a very liberal state in a lot of ways, and you got to tighten that up. Work ahead. Let's keep the mission going. We're going to be getting off of here in a minute. We're going to be going to Ringgold, making our way down there, getting another hot cup of coffee, and going live from the street at about 8:30 a.m. Cornbread Man, the Biscuit Boy, and I'll get Paul's thoughts on it. We'll see what he thinks about it, and we look forward to seeing you there. Have a great morning, and then later on tomorrow we'll probably have another show. And then I will be off. I'll be out there. You'll be seeing me out there for the rest of the day. I'll be working a lot this afternoon, but I'll still be around and bouncing ideas. See you in the morning too on Sunday morning in the Word around 8-ish, 8:15ish, somewhere in there. We do about an hour where we come on and we open up the Word of God. And boy, we need to pray. We need to pray, and we need God's favor, and we need to pray. Thank you for being here. If you're a new listener, give us a like and a follow, a share, all that good stuff. It does help us. We're growing every day. We appreciate it. Southern Fried Podcast, the SF Podcasting on the Rumble side. This morning, I'm coming in with Dave in the AM, the Cornbread Man. We have Wolf Nation that's coming on board. Cornbread Nation is already fully entrenched there. We have the SFP News. That's all part of it. And we have our Cornbread Nation Radio. And all those are different entities of the overall podcast. We're having a ball. Hope you have a great Saturday. Go Dogs! Texas and Georgia gonna hook it up. We're gonna hook them out. The game is 7:30 tonight. 7:30. Be some great games throughout the day. We're looking forward to tonight's game, and it's a great matchup. And of course, I'm a dog fan. You can tell that from things behind. Well, my hat's kind of covering up the G. I need to move that. I'll be throwing on my Georgia hat here, getting ready for that. And but hey, let's be happy, proud to be Americans, proud to be that we're where we stand in our faith. And I'm a Christian. I'm Southern. I'm an American. You know what? And we love what we do, and we love who we are. We're comfortable. We're absolutely comfortable, and we're used to being ridiculed down here. Absolutely, we are. You know what? It doesn't bother us a bit. We're not looking for people's to pat us on the hand or the back and say good job. We're okay. We don't have our feelings are not broke down here. We're okay. We're big boys and big girls, and we can understand. We understand it. We get it, but also don't rile us up because you don't want us mad. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit ticked off at the administration, a little more than a little bit, to be honest, about how they've done this. And I just don't like how they've done. But hey, have a great day. God bless. We'll see you soon. Let's get out of here with some music. And we'll go out with one. I think it's a good, appropriate song as we go out. And I'll play that in Podbean as well. Let me find it real quick. And, get out and enjoy the greatness of America. If you're here in America, get out and enjoy the greatness of what we are. And here's what we would say here in North Georgia. Just how big a boy are you? Here.
Mud on your boots, dirt on your hands, fight in your eyes, scars on your plans. Who you gonna be when the lights all fade? When the stage is gone, when the debts ain't paid. Just how big a boy are you when the chips fall, when the fish fly? Just how big a boy are you when the truth comes, when the lies die? Big talk ain't the weight you carry. Truck in a no-name town, dust on your tongue, rain won't come down. What's the measure of a man with nothing to show? When the wind cuts deep, when the seeds don't grow. Just how big a boy are you when the walls crack, when the earth shakes? How big a boy don't mean a thing at all. You can puff your chest, you can raise your chin, but the mirror don't care about the fire within. How far will you go? How much will you lose when it's blood for blood and you gotta choose? Just how big a boy